Tyrion, you're going to give Amerin his sponge bath now. So he's going to enter into the room, and he immediately comes in and just nonchalantly, he just completely disrobes.
Tyrion is not going to, Tyrion just gonna stand stone, stoic. He already saw a giant of stones, so...
Yes. I think giant is very generous, Tyrion.
Yeah.
So he goes over into the bath and Tyrion, I think I'm in love.
I just look over and I am just like this. Are you, sir?
Yes. Tell me, Tyrion, if you hypothetically were in love with someone, what would be an appropriate first date gift, would you say?
I would, I jokingly say a date in the Necropolis. But I'm joking.
Date in the Necropolis?
Oh yes, don't you know about Navarre, sir?
Of course
I'm
I know
joking,
about...
of course.
Well, less joking and more scrubbing. Lower, Tyrion. Lower back there.
My apologies, sir. Since I have just arrived, may I ask for the party, sir? Just so I can be prepared for whatever is necessary.
Yes, what is it? What are you asking about for the party?
The party itself, yes.
I'm having some
guests.
very important guests coming, many of which are various officials, so it is extremely important that we impress them as much as possible.
Is there anything that you believe needs to be done, Lord Amaran?
I think nothing more than the usual. You know how we work our parties here at this estate. Everyone has their specific tasks and expertise, and so you, of course, will be serving the hors d'oeuvres and perhaps the tea and coffee afterwards.
Very well. Personal question, sir. If that does not bother you. Senior.
You may ask. And he still seems to be in La La Land right now.
In love.
Yes, you may ask, which is the only reason why he seems to be entertaining your questions right now.
Entertaining question, yeah. And I think I'm gonna say, senior, sir. The tranquil one.
Yes. What about him?
There's a pause, and I think Emma catch that he's gonna say, Is he also my father, sir?
He pauses for a moment and says, "Why, yes, he is." And he just says it oh yeah, he is. Without even really giving it even more of a, almost what's your point kind of way.
It's also Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday. I just say, it's just that it has been a long time since I've seen his face, sir.
Oh, well, then you're welcome, Tyrion. I'm very happy that I was finally able to reunite the two of you.
Yes. And he says yes with such... he's trying to hide it. If I need to make communication deception, I'll do it, but it is a hateful yes.
I have to point out, he's completely naked, he's unarmed.
I know,
You're back
I
there
know.
with a dagger.
Tyrion.
I'm just saying.
You have a blighted dagger in your
You
shirt.
have a blighted dagger in your shirt right now, so
You can just go.
Do I take this or do I not?
Is this a willpower test, maybe?
I have
wink,
to make
wink.
a willpower
all
test.
right.
Oh boy,
Oh,
what's
here
our
we go.
DC?
I'm setting the target number to 13. If he
13. Okay.
13. If he succeeds, he will keep his cool. But if he fails,
All right.
he's going for that.
Let's see it.
So as he's cleaning this up, he puts the sponge on the side, and he goes into his shirt to pull out the knife, the tainted knife there in his hand. Tyrion sees his moment of truth, his chance, and he is gonna say into Winter, "May the gods find you grace." He cuts his throat.
You slice his throat right then and there, and to shock this man, he's like, he falls over and he's looking at you with some fear, but also a lot of hatred as well, as he's looking towards you, and also mixed in with like, no, my son. Well, he's not really your son, but you know what I'm saying. He's got very mixed things.
He's gonna let them sink there in his blood, and he's going to clean the dagger with the bar, and he's going to sheath it there, and he's gonna say, "For everything you've done, that was the last straw. May the gods find you peace, you piece of shit." And he's going to get out. And as he leaves, as he's gonna leave, he's gonna find a private room. He's gonna take off his shackles with the lockpicks that was hidden in him. 18.
18. Yeah, you will be able to unshackle your shackles. What do you do once you're done unshackling the locks?
I'm gonna find Senior.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that you will when you open the door, Senior actually is standing right in front of you, and then he sees the shackles that have been removed down.
I say to him, "Dad, we need to go."
Guards! An escapee! He yells out.
Smack on the face. Dirty fire. I'm knocking him out.
You knock him out, but the damage has been done, and the entire state has been alerted after Senior outed you as an escapee.
So as that happens, I'm gonna pick up Senior when I knock him out, and I'm going
roll a strength. Might.
I got a power bonus. 16.
Okay, so you can move it half your speed with him. You're not going to be able to move as fast as you would if you were trying to escape by yourself.
Does this room have window?
It does, but there's a 3-story drop because you're right by the bathroom, the master bathroom, which is like up on the higher floors.
Yeah. So what I'm going to try and do is Tyrion is going to do the most daring thing ever. He's going to be carrying Senior, and he's going to try and climb down with his whatever he can with like this estate. That's what he's going to try and do. It's going to be difficult, but I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah, roll a strength climb.
I got a +1 because I got a fire bonus, 14.
Okay. You are going to attempt to climb down and carrying Senior with you, which is not easy.
Not easy. Oh shit, didn't add my bonus. It's 9, 13. It's supposed to be a 16. It didn't add my climbing bonus.
Okay, so with a 16, I'm going to say that you are going to be able to carry him halfway down. But again, you're not going to be able to move nearly as fast as you normally would, and the entire estate is like buzzing with guards. Some of them are arcane. Some of them are physical guards, but some of them are arcane guards. And I'm going to say that you're probably halfway down the estate when there's going to be a couple of archers and 2 arcane guards that will catch you, and they are going to like aim their bows and their staffs in your direction, and they're going to yell out, "Stop where you are, we will fire," is what they say.
Tyrion's gonna see the guards and he's gonna consider, oh, do I do this?
While you're considering, what is your AC?
My defense is 16.
They will fire 2 shots, 2 arrows will come in your direction, as well as 2 like arcane lances will come into your direction. Before they reach you, it looks like some sort of invisible barrier blocks the shots at you. Roll a perception.
22 with 6 stun points.
You will see that on the other side of the gates of the estate appears to be a woman with half of her face is masked. It's Narika. and she has a wand in her hand, and she has just it looks like she had just cast some sort of spell in your direction just as you saw the barrier appear.
And when that happens, I'm just gonna look at her, give her a nod, and then I'm going to transform to dragon.
You have to do it, Skull.
Mm-hmm. What?
You have to do the thing in order to transform.
Hi, Dragoon!
Yeah!
Yes!
And as he says that, it's like, and everyone sees he transforms quickly. The body of Senior's like on his back, and it's as he transforms him and enters
dragon, by the way?
mode. I think he is Divinsnomer. Divinsnomer.
Yes, so you transform into that, and you can fly away, and the guards will attempt to pelt you, but your natural armor is gonna be. I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get the hell out of that place. I'm getting out of the city.
Can we feel him transform, by the way?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say you guys can feel him transform.
As I
feel like we're all... Go ahead.
I will say as I transform, and something must to everyone. I am sorry.
And
That's
as we're all
hears in the
discussing, like, all right, so we're gonna go to Calpurnia and we're gonna have her know about it, and then we just hear that we're like, shit.
Are you trying to stealth as a dragon out of the city? I think it's gonna be.
I don't want to
tough.
be caught. Yeah.
All right, it'll be high because again you're carrying somebody with you. So
well, I'm a big dragon. I'm carrying a single.
yeah, you're
person.
also a big dragon. So let's see what your stealth is.
Okay. Question: can we use any focuses that we have or not, or do we have to use whatever the dragon has?
I think. Well, what focus are you trying to use? Stealth. You can use your own
focus.
You can use your own. Yes.
Okay. Then this is the same stats. 22 with 4.
Okay. So, for the most part, you're not going to be spotted as. Are you trying to leave the city proper, or are you trying to? Where are you trying to go?
I'm trying to go back to where near the area where we stopped camp.
Oh, okay. So outside of the city. Okay, so you're making your way outside of the city, and for the most part, you will not be seen. But there are going to be a few people that will react to you, and some of them will scream, and somebody will say, "Are we being attacked again by dragons?" And something around that.
Yeah. And like I said, I sent the message to everyone. I am sorry.
So you're going out of the city. What's happening with the rest of the PCs?
So at least for Daretham, as soon as we got out, Daretham was starting to talk to Nathan and the rest, like, okay, Nathan, we're going to use your clout to get into Calpurnia. We're going to reveal the whole plan about Amarin and have them spy on the party. I'll make sure to go outside so that way you three can go, etc. And we were like, I don't know if everyone else would have approved of that, but he was talking about that, and then probably we hear that.
Well,
he did it.
I'm glad we snatched the book when we can.
Yeah.
Let's make our way out.
Are we going to be able to talk to the dragon?
Well, only one of us has been ousted.
True.
That is true. There's no reason for the city to hunt us down. We didn't do anything, Nathan says.
Yes.
Let's go somewhere public so that we have an alibi, just in case.
Yeah. I imagine we were in like a tavern or something, like, while it was happening.
I'm sure, yeah. We'll pretend you guys are in a tavern of some sort.
Oh.
While you're at this tavern, I'll even ask, I'll even mention to Leon that he'll see somebody at the tavern with a crow pin, just as an FYI.
Okay.
Whether or not you want to do anything about that is up to you.
I'm going to talk to the barkeeper, like make myself be known to the barkeeper, be like, oh, like later on if we get asked, we'd be like, the barkeeper, sorry.
It's a female, and she's got chestnut brown hair and short chestnut brown hair and like a pixie-ish kind of hairstyle, and she's like, "Hey there, sugar. What can I do for you?
Oh,
are you old enough to drink?
I want some juice, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, aren't you adorable? Do you want me to put the little umbrellas on it as well?
You have umbrellas?
Yeah, we do. Do you want like the little loopy straw things?
I do want the loopy straws.
Too bad we don't have those.
Oh, well, do you at least know where I can get some fancy clothes?
Fancy clothes?
I'm
Oh,
going
well,
to a
yeah.
party.
She'll give you like some names of nearby merchants, and she'll pour you a glass of juice of some sort.
Well, thank you for the information. Guess we're going clothes shopping. I sort of eye my party.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over to them and say, so we're just gonna walk up to Calpurnia, or should I contact
Do you
them?
have an in with us?
I certainly can try. I don't have my dad with me this time, but I feel like I might have some pull.
I also could ask one of Andrea's associates to maybe help grease some wheels. But it'll be money. It'll cost.
It's up to you. You could also just simply ask the Crow for some information about anything going on around the city.
Listening to rumors is always nice. Okay.
I'm gonna put 1 gold on the table. See what they know about Tyrion.
Okay. I hope not to flash too much money, because, well, crows are very motivated by money, and they may be negatively motivated if we put too much on. So I'll walk up to the crow and,
You walk up to the Crow, and the Crow is a little... He's kind of holding himself up by his elbow, and he's got a pitcher of beer in his hand, and he seems to be quite a bit tipsy.
Hey, friend, I heard...
Oh, hey there, hot stuff. You decided to come back.
Yeah, and...
Change your mind, then?
I've got some more questions, if you wouldn't mind. He sort of puts 3 silver on the table.
He looks at it, and then very slyly, like, he slides. It's weird. It's like the rest of his body is clearly drunk, but his hand is not drunk. So the rest of his body is drunk, but his hand very craftily, like, takes the coins. And he says, questions? I got a question for you, sweetheart. You know how to whistle? Just put your lips together and blow.
This is very clearly flirting, and Leon's still inexperienced.
Rosie's kind of watching this, and she's very, like, confused. And anyone who's around Rosie is saying, I'm not sure if I should be jealous or turned on right now. She says, talking to the group.
That's up to you.
Leon, because it's a crow, he's still gonna, have a hover hand around his coin purse. He's still gonna be a little taken aback and be like,
Oh, watch where you're putting your hand, Leon, is what Rosie says from the group.
Well, I guess we'll have to negotiate for that information later on.
What question you got for me, Toots?
I heard that there's a dragon around here, and I was hoping to maybe get some more information about that.
I might be able to help you out with that. Anything else? You, care to hear from me? Maybe some more sweet nothings in your ear?
As much fun as that would be, says fun a little sarcastically, I am wondering about the current political goings on, especially around Calpurnia's most recent thoughts of abolishing slavery. I heard there's some folk maybe not so happy.
Sort of does this. Closer.
He sort of leans in a little closer.
He leans over to you and he whispers in your ear, and the voice that comes out is coherent and not drunk. And then he says, word on the street says a whole bunch of magisters are organizing a coup. They're gonna storm the Capitol. And out of character, I totally planned that this was gonna be a thing before 2 weeks ago. Honest to the maker, I totally was planning on this being a thing before 2 weeks ago, but real life.
When a D&D campaign as a joke, predicts real life stupidity. Wow.
Uh, oh, very well.
Word on the street says that Amarin is the one that's leading this coup right now and is throwing some sort of party tonight to discuss the details of said coup.
Oh, yes. He throws over 3 more silver. Maybe there's a party list that would be useful.
I think I can get that for you. He pulls away and he says, anything else I can do for you, miss?
Oh, yes. I'll pay for your beer. He hands over another silver. And underneath the silver is a tracking glyph, so that, if he needs to send any information, it's just easy to get a hold of Leon.
Okay. All right. And I guess with that, the drunken crow will pull himself out of the table, and he'll just start to lumber out the door. And somehow he manages to lumber out gracefully than Amarin did with his waddle. Was that good for you, honey? Rosie asks.
Sure was, Snookums.
Snookums?
Oh
No.
my.
No, don't use Snookums, Rosie says. Not Snookums.
Sorry, just one of those days.
Jonathan just shares a look with Rousseau, just like, oh my, this kid.
She'll still hold your hand.
So,
I guess let's go talk to that dragon.
yeah, I'm getting I bought some information about said dragon. Hopefully it comes soon.
Do you want me to maybe head over with Tyrion, and then you 3 can stay in and keep an eye, go to Calpurnia and such?
I suppose.
It might be best to check in on him. Whatever has happened,
We want to be good.
Yeah. So then I'll try to dragon message you what happened. And I'll stay with him and the rest in Balm. If you need us, just let us know.
First of all, let's think of things that could have happened and then contingencies. Option number 1, he got found out and had to run. Option number 2, an accident befell Amarin. Option number 3, Amarin is dead and Tyrion did it.
You'll hear the sound of somebody hammering something on the wall. It looks like somebody just came into the tavern and they're hammering a sign that says "Wanted, Dead or Alive," and it's got a very unflattering, it's got Tyrion's very unflattering face. His face is "Wanted, Dead or Alive." This servant goes by the name of Tyrion, and yeah, it's just one of those on his face.
Our boys reached for the stars.
Right.
Darren at this point will come in, and she's gonna notice the sign, and then she's gonna take a look at the sign, and then she's gonna look over at the group at the
I'm
table.
gonna say-
Then she's gonna look at the sign again.
I'm gonna take Darren and we're gonna be at the camp.
See you later, buddy.
And he will then stand up and walk over and just be like,
We need to head back to camp.
Okay, but let the record show that as soon as the merchandise gets dropped off, I wash my hands completely of it.
Indeed.
I can't leave just this moment. I still have to do a whole bunch of bureaucratic stuff with
Right.
Alexius, but I can meet up with you guys hopefully by tomorrow.
Alright.
and he'll look around like maybe they're walking. He'll since they still don't want to be associated yet, he'll go ahead and give her a quick kiss as no one's around, and just say,
Stay safe.
You too. Try not to do anything stupid like a certain doctor.
Well, I don't entirely know what he did, but I have a bad feeling.
Oh, I know what he did. I know very much what he did.
Oh, what's the rumor mill?
I mean, I haven't heard anything. I'm just pretty sure he certainly offed his master, and
That's
apparently he didn't do it very cleanly.
Right. Well, I'll be sure to whack him for you.
He's very sloppy. Sloppy, sloppy, sloppy. I will see you in a little bit, and with that she will go over to the bar and order herself a drink.
And he'll say,
See you, love.
and we'll head off.
Is there gonna be a Darethum Tyrion talk again?
I mean, Darethum's just gonna. I mean, we can jump cut, and Darethum's just like,
Yeah, if that's not an issue, or
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
up to her. Yeah. Anyway,
but yeah, we can do that later.
up to her.
Tyrion, what happens to you after you leave the city with Senior?
Okay, so I have landed in the camp where there is Balm and Valor. At least those two, anyway. So they just see me land, this big dragon land, and I kind of retransform into Tyrion. And he's gonna like carry Senior to he's gonna put him on a tree, and he's gonna see if like there's any rope around that the group may
Yeah.
get, and he's gonna tie up Senior.
Bomb approaches you and he says, Tyrion, what's wrong? You look very distressed. And who is that man?
That man, he's Senior. He's Senior.
All right.
And he's going to
He doesn't look dangerous. Why are you tying him up?
because if you don't notice, the mark is tranquil.
He's what?
Tranquil. It means
What's
he has
that?
he has no emotion, and whatever he will do, he will. It's a long story, okay? And he's like frantic. He pulls out the blade which he cleaned. The blade that's been cleaned up. He's gonna look at it. Fuck. He's going to kind of. Fuck. Calm down, Tyrion. Calm down. You dead?
Tyrion, breathe in, breathe out. What's happening? Nobody's here. You're safe. Where's the others? You know what? Let me stop asking questions. Just take a moment and start from wherever you want to start.
He's dead.
Who's dead?
My master.
Leon?
My master.
Oh. So, Senior is...
My father.
I see. Why are you tying up your father?
The Mark Tranquil doesn't remember me, and he yelled that I was an escapee, which I was. So I grabbed him, brought him here, tied him up so he doesn't do anything stupid. That's the hope. Ah, yes, it was a stupid thing to do, damn it. Fuck.
I didn't say a thing. Why do you think it was a stupid thing?
Because it was sloppy, because it was in the middle. I said I wasn't going to do it, and I did it. I didn't want to kill him, damn it. Seeing Amarin, seeing my dad, seeing everything. The moment. Fuck. I don't know.
Bomb's going to attempt to, take two fingers and try to pat you on the back.
I don't know what I did. I know what I did was wrong, but damn it, my emotions.
Are you worried about... Are you worried about the doctor's oath? Is that why you're upset? Tyrion, forgive me for saying, but you aren't a certified doctor. I don't think it applies to you.
Oh, for Christ's sake, yes, I'm not a certified doctor, but now that's definitely not putting me on that board anymore. But I told the group I wasn't going to murder him. And then I did. That's what's bothering me. That's what's making me shaken. I'm glad he's gone.
Well, if you want to know my opinion, what's done is done, and you can't change that. You definitely are allowed to feel what you're feeling right now. You probably are and should be continuing to feel that way for the next several days. But you brought your father out here, so just don't let anything that you did be in vain.
The problem is not that. The problem is what consequences are going to come up for my actions. That's what I'm afraid. I don't know what the group will see me now as. I don't know what... Hell, I can't even come up in front of Archon Calpurnia and give a freaking good account that my hands are stained with blood.
You'll hear a female voice, Tyrion, and you look up and you'll see that Narika has approached.
Narika.
We need to talk, Tyrion, Narika said.
You... What are you? As he stands up, like, shakingly. I saw it. The barrier.
I'm a mage, Tyrion. I feel like a lot of people might have thought that by this point, but I don't know if anyone's ever verbally said it, but I am a mage.
Crap. Well, you've hit it well, then.
Tyrion, I haven't been completely honest to you or the group for a very long time, but I know you long before you joined the circus.
What do you mean?
I knew Amarin. I used to live in Tevinter. But just like you, I had to run away in hiding.
I see.
She takes off her mask, and as she takes off her mask, her face starts to change, and her hair starts to shorten, and her entire body starts to morph around, and you can see the face of not a woman, but a man, as a goatee forms on his face, and you are surprised to see Bostwick Farron before you.
What?
So, Andrea, you make your way over to Ravane, and you see this merchant with this cart with all these wares, and this woman is with this merchant with a very elaborate mask, and as soon as she sees you, she looks at you right in the eye and she says, "Ah, well, hello there, dear. Looking at you, you seem to be someone who has an eye for things and perhaps may be interested in treating yourself to one of my baubles in my wares."
Well, flattery will get you anywhere, my dear. Let me look at your bubbles.
She looks at you again and she says, Is there anything in particular that catches your eye? We've got a lot of earrings, necklaces, hairpins.
I could use some hair clips, something exotic and beautiful.
You'll take a look, and immediately she'll notice you noticing a golden pin that's in the shape of a hummingbird eating out of a golden flower. And she says, "You, my dear, have excellent taste indeed. And I presume part of it is because you seem to be a very well-traveled person around Thedas."
Indeed, I've been all over Thedas.
Ah, I see. She takes a look at you a little bit more careful, and her eyes kind of squint a little, and her brow furrows, and she says, "You seem familiar. I feel like I've seen you around before. Have we met before?"
Met? I don't. Rather well known. Perhaps you've seen me. I don't think it was Andreas Stormbringer when I was in Tevinter.
Oh, yes, Andreas Stormbringer, yes. Now I recognize. I was into Winter for quite some time, but lately I've been trying to avoid the place a little bit. But while I was there, I do remember seeing all the flyers, and if I'm not mistaken, I believe you were under a man. Oh, what was his name? Bostwick Farron. Yes. He was a very handsome and very charming man, indeed.
Bostwick is fantastic. True, it is true. How did you know Bostwick? Did you know him?
Oh, well, yes, our paths did cross a few times. I think it's safe to say that we were relatively close. Yes.
You were relatively close. I'm sorry. I would think that I would know you if you were close with Bostwick.
Oh, well, she sort of looks at you a little bit closer, and without physically blinking or winking at you, like the way that she's staring into your eyes, it almost feels like she's winking at you as if to say, "Think a little harder, dear."
Who are you?
And as you say that, she leans back a little bit, and her face starts to change and morph, and it grows a little bit less dark. The hair starts to shorten, and within a few seconds, her face completely transforms into that of Bostwick Farron.
Bostwick? Well, while she's glamorizing, I'm going to grab my weapon, but then as soon as it's Bostwick, I'm Bostwick, and I give him a big hug.
He'll give you a hug back, and when you finally pull away from him, he says, "Surprise!" So, what do you think? What do you think of the whole get-up, the whole...
It was very good. I couldn't tell at all that it was a glamour.
Oh, flattery will get you anywhere, dear, he says. As you know, I've been mastering my glamour abilities lately. I believe I remember telling you that when I was in that other realm, I somehow managed to convince everyone there that I was a hobo in the streets for quite some time. So this time, however, I thought I would change things up, and instead of impersonating someone that was poor, I thought I would impersonate someone that was a little bit more towards your standards. A lot of Narika, actually, I was emulating from you. I wasn't sure if you could tell that.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, she is very beautiful and seems worldly. So, thank you. I will take that as flattery. What are you doing here?
Well, he says, you know that I've decided that staying put in the breach has been struggling. You know, I'm not liking being quarantined and locked
Well,
down into one specific place. So I've decided I needed a way for me to stretch my legs a bit and go out into the world and smell the fresh air for a time.
I mean, it's definitely good.
Since I'm out and about and no longer in the protection of the breach, I thought that it'd be smart for me to at least disguise myself, since mostly because somebody, my name is Archon Rodonis, or ex-Archon Rodonis, is still at large, and I don't really want him to know that I'm still alive.
I don't blame you. I also wish that he was not still alive.
Whose idea was it? Now, don't get me wrong, the whole humiliation thing, definitely far more entertaining, certainly a fate worse than death, but that doesn't quite help me that much. So, whose idea again was it to spare him after you were right there and ready to kill him?
Well, it all happened really fast. And I know that Cedric and I were really fighting him, but I think once Connor got injured, people just started running. Sure, who started, but...
What was it, Theoben? I bet it was Theoben. I have my money on Theoben being the one to talk you out of killing him.
I mean, it was his idea to ruin him financially and embarrass him, so it could be.
That does sound more like of a Theoben way. Yes, that humiliation, I don't know, is more of Kenna's style, but...
That's true.
At any rate...
Killing is more of my style, and we didn't do it that way. So you can tell I wasn't in charge of that one.
Well, at any rate, I'm not going to worry too much about it, but let's catch up for a little bit. And he waves his wand. He has a bit of a tea set, and when he waves his wand, the tea magically appears in the mugs with exactly the flavor that he knows that you like, with the amount of sugar and tea and milk and cream and everything. What is new with you? Tell me what's happening on your end of the woods.
Well, actually, I have a new project that I'm working on.
Do tell. Spill.
Well, as you might know, my sort of kind of pseudo-adopted brother Fergus is a Grey Warden. So he is affected by the turning. He's technically got the taint. That's the way it works, at least a little bit. But what happens with the Grey Wardens is eventually they get a thing called the calling. Yeah, and I don't really want that for him. He's been through enough. So I've been working on a cure for the taint.
Aren't you Guardians so ambitious, Andrea? Oh yes, we'll go and save the world from utter destruction. Oh yes, and while we're at it, why don't we, I don't know, end slavery in Tevinter and get rid of tranquility and cure the taint. Have you all, Andrea, have you considered like taking a vacation every once in a while? Like the world, I hate to break it to you, but for as many times as you try to save or fix the world, it always breaks again at the end.
Isn't that the truth? It's just, like, I mean, I'm just doing lab work this time. It's not like I'm fighting dragons or something, so it's kind of like a vacation.
Yes, that's true. Who in their right mind would be chasing dragons? Well, let me know then if you need help. I don't know if my magical know-how is necessarily allows me to have any expertise in all of this, but if you would like to pick my brain, I would love to offer any aid.
I think I would, and it would be nice to have a different perspective at the very least. The thing I'm trying to do most right now is find a subject to help with the creation of the spell. I need someone who is tainted and willing to try and take this possibly very dangerous, made out of lyrium magical concoction that I'm making. So
I'm surprised that Fergus didn't volunteer.
he did, but where he's a warden, he's already his version of the taint is like already slowed down by the way that the turning. So in order to actually cure the taint, I'm going to have to get someone who just has straight like disorder, which is a problem because it's a long term. Usually, once someone's tainted, they might only have days before they change. So
I see. And I'm assuming that because Razakale is now a broodmother and, producing more children in the Awakened, it's probably not good to put her at any risk.
no, I don't want to affect any of her many pregnancies she's been having.
That would be interesting.
By the way, he says, Andrea, I also wanted to personally congratulate you on becoming first enchanter of the Circle of Ravane.
Thank you. It is quite an accomplishment, yes. I'm getting a round of applause.
Allow me to reintroduce myself, Bostwick Farron, the great arena patron or whatever, etc., father figure to the guardian of water himself.
Taryn's more confused. He's like, what? You. Well, I am sorry. I have many emotions going through me right now.
I know, a lot is dropping on you all at once. But from what I've been told, everyone in your group seems to be used to having a whole lot of things dropped into their lap all at once.
Oh hell yeah, that's a definite. I agree on that, but what? Okay.
Okay, can I just, I think, speak for all of us and go, what the fuck?
I have to give it to Champion of Thetis in the comments. They called it. They called it.
Champion of Thetis, congrats, you called it. I was dropping a lot of hints. Maybe that you guys are starting to now get why Violetta gave Narika a visit just before the date because Bostwick and Violetta used to date, and now Violetta's about to go on a date with somebody else. And I think Narik even said that she knew Violetta very well and that she knew Violetta's style and various. I was dropping a lot of hints that it was Bostwick.
You are
Russo, you got tailoring advice from Violetta's old boyfriend.
Yeah.
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 That's weird.
wow.
The ex helped you.
That the conversation with Pasha about the secrets that she was keeping, and Andrea being like, do you know who that is, at the end of that one session. So
Holy shit. Okay.
First of all, I'm not a crow, but I've been watching over you for a while, Tyrion, ever since I saw the way that Amarin treated you back in the day, many, many years back. I don't even know if you remember.
Yes.
I figured the way that he treated his servants was not the model way to do so, and I was the one who sent you those materials to help you escape the first time. My friend Hugh sort of helped with getting the materials themselves, but the delivery was mine.
So, not only were you, I remember you tried to buying me.
I did. It was the easiest way I could think of to get you out of that situation.
I'm, of course, in this situation, I definitely said no, I imagine. But why? I mean, I understand, like, I'm just a slave who got treated poorly by master, but why me? There are thousands of slaves who suffered like me.
A lot of servants that I have are servants from broken situations, just like yourself. Andrea had lost her family, among other things, and I took her in, and you seemed like another case that needed some semblance of happiness added to their very lives. I think part of it is because Violetta was right. I think that I was lying to myself that I didn't want to have a family of my own or children of my own, and I think I realized that I see a lot of parentage towards all of the servants that I take in, and so I immediately was drawn towards you and your situation. If I could have bought all of the servants from a Marin, I would have, but that would have been very suspicious, and you seemed to be the one that was most affected by his obsession, because I think he did have an obsession with you, an unhealthy one at that.
He looks at his arms. Yeah. But now look what happened. His own obsession got him killed.
So you did do it. You did kill him.
I said to myself I didn't want to do it. So it was all a lie. Damn it.
I think a friend of mine that I have gotten to know very well within the last month said something to the effect of, the heart doesn't always agree with the mind.
But now I'm worried. I wanted to help do some good, not bring more damage.
I'm not going to say that there aren't consequences to what she did. I'm not going to say that. But what I can say is, whatever those consequences are, I know that your companions are prepared to help you through them just as much as I am. And the rest of the circus.
Yeah. I can't know that. They don't know what I've done. I told them I would not kill him. I had no intentions. Now look what happened.
We all have blood on our hands in some form or fashion. Look at myself. Do you know how many people have died in those arenas that I ran? Purely for people's entertainment. I look back on that every day now, wondering, questioning some of the decisions that I had made. And to be perfectly honest, people like yourself and Andrea were the ones who first had me question those decisions. And I can't take them back. I can't go back and change them, so...
But... I don't know, I had sent a letter to Archon Calpurnia, giving my account and telling her that I want Amryn. Not dead, just brought to justice.
I'm afraid that is going to be a much more difficult feat now that I'm presuming you're a wanted man in the city. Anyone who spots you is going to try to turn you in or even attack the people who are with you.
Yeah. Well, at least my party isn't connected with me at the moment. But now I can even make a case for my help for those who suffered like me. Because of my... Fuck, Darrington was so right. That...
Do I show up like right now as he says that?
You can if you'd like.
Yeah. I walk in and I hear that, and I go,
I mean, not to be a dick or anything, but I told
Zerathon.
Hey, Darren. And hello. Don't think we've been acquainted.
and I actually get a little back because my hood was down.
Oh, he knows you. There's no point.
I think that Bostwick will transform back to Narika and put the mask back on.
Ah. Hello. Sir.
Hello, dear, Narika says in a female voice.
Hello. Good to meet you. Again.
It's been done.
Yeah, I figured. We're gonna try to have Nathan, or the Crows, or both, get us in contact with the dragon and Calpurnia. I think Leon was getting a list of the other conspirators. And Darren is free as of tomorrow, once the paperwork's done.
Good. At least she gets it.
Okay, so back into Vinter, there's definitely word is starting to travel fast that there was an attack at one of the Magister estates, and you'll probably hear people buzzing about how a murder has just happened. And given that this murder took place, who was supposedly the ringleader of a coup, I'm sure that the people who were involved with the coup are not super happy about that and are probably looking for blood themselves, looking for justice themselves. But at any rate, while this is still happening, you guys will approach the capital. Speaking of it, you guys approach the capital, and I think Nathan will have the document from Tyrion and will seek an audience with the Archon if she was available. And I'm going to say that realistically, she probably would be able to see you guys within the next 2 hours or so. So, again, in the interest of time, we'll just jump a couple hours later, and you guys will make your way over to some sort of chamber where, the Archon, I guess, would greet guests of some sort. And so Calpurnia enters. There's probably some guards of some sort in the room as well. And she will... There isn't like a throne or anything, but there's certainly like a desk of some sort, I think, where she can sit down and some chairs in front. And she carries herself in a way that is... remember, she's an ex-slave. So it's almost like she is not nearly as refined as, say, Queen Antonia is. She's not like a slouch or anything, but you can tell that this is someone who sort of rose up in the ranks and became formally trained, the etiquette and everything else, as she's handling herself. And she will say, "Prince Nathan of Ferelden, good to see you. I did not realize that His Highness was paying our city a visit." Yes, my apologies, Archon Calpurnia. This visit was a bit last minute. We came here to speak to you of some news. But before I get into that, I heard that one of our colleagues, Tyrion Seedoff, sent you a letter. Yes, he did. I actually finished reading it this morning, believe it or not. Some of the accusations that he gave in his letter and described, unfortunately, are not at all that uncommon in this city. And I'm sure it will prove to be of great evidence to us when we go over and go through the proper channels to have Mr. Forfax speak for his crimes. You're getting the gist that the rumors have not gotten to Calpurnia yet of what happened.
Well, Madam Archon, I say you might want to put a pin in that.
How so?
Would it be out of character? Would it be fair to say that I could have ripped one of the wanted posters down?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. It seems our friend's already paid him a visit on his own.
She takes a look at the poster. If he is indeed dead, this complicates things, especially if the allegations are true and Tyrion himself was the one who killed him.
There's also been the rumors of a coup, and Lord Forfax was the ringleader and was having a get-together tonight to talk about their plans.
I had some suspicions that such a thing was being organized, but I didn't have enough proof as to whom. Do you have any proof of this? Of this traitorous act or plan?
Just what Lord Forfax had said, and maybe a guest list, as we are compiling.
I see.
If we were granted leave to maybe investigate his residence, we could come up with more information, but as of this point, things have developed quite quickly.
I appreciate the offer. However, I think that I should be able to send our own officials over to investigate. I think that having a third party go over and make their own investigations may paint me as being partial or biased.
I'd say that makes the most sense. Though the major reason we decided to pay you a visit was we've been in contact with the Pentavive.
Yes, I know Kenna in particular very well.
Yeah. She told us that you have a dragon in containment.
The one that attacked our city a couple of months ago, yes.
We'd like to talk to it because we can.
You can speak to dragons. Well, that's new. Kenna seemed to be able to do that, but very interspersed words here and there, according to her. Are you a Varian as well?
No. Spent most of my life in Navarra. We're dragon avatars?
I have heard some rumors about that. You are seeking to look into the violent dragon attacks that have been happening around Thedas.
That's correct. We've fell 8.
I see. Well, it's also good to know that you are versatile enough to not only slay dragons, but slay rich aristocratic Tevinter magisters as well.
Our friend was given a neutral choice. He's picked it. I won't speak for or against him.
I think many of you know the reasons why this coup is happening. A lot of people disagree with my plans to begin abolishing slavery in the city of Tevinter. Having a slave murder his master, however, I think is going to put that plan a few steps backward, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you're rather correct. If I may, after we're done, I'd be willing to come back and help as best as I can with this. It's not Navarra, but I know law very well.
I would appreciate that. I recognized your Navarran clothing. This is a very delicate situation, and I have been trying to navigate and doing as much negotiations as I can with the politicians in our land. The biggest fear and arguments that they are making is that the moment we start giving the slaves their freedom, what is to stop them from seeking some sort of vengeance or justice against their masters? I'm sure that there will still be residual ill feelings, understandably so. What is preventing them from uprising themselves? Tyrion's actions, unfortunately, are only validating those concerns.
Then I suppose the only real method you have would be to appease both sides. You give the magisters that indulge slavery big benefit, and then you give the freshly liberated slaves something worth sticking around for.
She smiles a bit when you say that. Appease both sides. You're sort of thinking like a politician, Mr. Alren. But I think there's a saying that when you try to appease both sides, you're really appeasing nobody.
I think you are correct. Appeasing both sides in the end, if you do it ad infinitum, will get you nowhere. I think it'd be the best solution to calm them down right now.
I appreciate your suggestion. At any rate, this is my problem, not yours. But if you do speak to Tyrion, just inform him that this definitely makes my job a lot more challenging.
I'll make sure he's duly informed.
As for your request, I will have one of my guardsmen escort you over to where we have the dragon detained. I ask, however, that you use a lot of caution because it is still very unstable and mad with something. Do not be surprised if it is challenging to get whatever information you're seeking from it. It was certainly very challenging for the Guardian of Ether.
I appreciate you allowing us the chance, Your Highness.
If there's nothing else, she sighs as if she's very exhausted right now about all of these. Oh, this other thing that's happening on my lap right now. If there's nothing else, you are welcome to leave.
Thank you for your time.
And you guys will leave and make your way finally to the chamber of the dragon. And they've created some semblance of a cell large enough to hold a high dragon, which is a pretty huge cell. It seems to be strengthened with magic, and as soon as the dragon sees you enter, it just starts like flailing about. It attempts to like breathe some of its breath weapon at you, but the bars are somehow acting as a barrier from the breath weapon, and it just seems very like rabid, if a dragon could be rabid, like clawing in towards your direction, trying to get at the group of you.
Well, that's not a good sign.
I've got one idea, but I'm open to suggestions.
I do agree with the idea of trying to mentally communicate with it, but we'll see if it's got enough mental wherewithal.
Leon, can you sense if this is some kind of magical feralness, or
Yeah,
Or
can I?
if only Dathan was here, he could see if it was tainted or not.
Yeah, can I do a blood magic check? Because I'm guessing the Magisters are behind this. Or do I make a straight magic check?
Roll a straight magic check.
Also-
20 with 6 stunt points.
And would Leon be able to feel what my magic is like so he could recognize it, possibly?
Probably. So this dragon isn't tainted. It's not under the effects. It's not currently under the effects of any spell per se, but it does feel like a spell of some sort or a magical effect left its mind warped. So it's like mentally disturbed, like irreparably mentally disturbed because as a result of a magical effect.
It's strange. Like, there's residual magic on its mind, but whatever magic effect did happen, it's addled its brain, it's warped its sense.
Can you tell what school of magic did that, or?
Can I tell?
Yeah, it's not a traditional school of magic. You feel that it is more chakra energy than anything else.
Oh. It feels like chakra powers, which is strange. Would it pose danger to us?
Well, it did try to breathe on us.
Well, there's bars there, but like, if we tried to connect with it, would whatever caused it to go on us?
Out of character, Hark, would I get anything extra outside of all of this, considering I'm a scaled one and naturally more attuned to chakra in the air?
If you want to use a magic roll, go ahead.
Well, we're not getting anything. 11.
14.
14. Oh, yes. I think you got bonuses from Violetta as well.
Oh, okay.
So you're feeling you feel a little bit of empathic connection with this dragon, and the dragon just seems to be out of its mind. It's almost like cruel just to keep him locked up here without putting him down, honestly, without putting the dragon down. And it's basically like a rabid vegetable almost at this point.
So there's no reversing of this effect, is what I'm gathering.
Not that you're aware of.
Okay. Its mind feels almost broken.
It's a shame such a creature reduced to this state.
Let's see if we can talk to it, and I'm gonna hold out both my hands.
We'll take.
Okay. Are you guys are you holding hands? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, to amplify being able to
Right.
chakra talk.
Everyone roll a communication.
Straight communication? Or like
Straight communication. If you think of anything that's pertinent.
persuasion?
17 with 2 stunt points.
Animal handling would work too.
Yay.
17.
16.
18 with 5 stunt points.
I'm gonna say all of you are able to hear it say, she calls, she seeks, she calls, she seeks, Lusacan.
Who calls?
The augur calls. Voices must get to the augur.
Where is the augur?
I don't know. I can't find her. I don't know. I can't find her. That's all it's saying. It's just like flailing wildly.
What happens if you don't find her?
You don't get a word answer, but you get a feeling answer. And the feeling answer is that of fear. It's like almost like a survival instinct. If I don't for some reason, if I don't get to her, I'm not going to survive. Even though that sounds silly, but that's what it feels.
Why must you?
Because she calls. That's why. She calls and I must respond. I must respond. And again, if you ask why, you're going to feel that fear, that survival fear.
What happens when you will find her?
We will ascend. We will ascend. We will become gods.
Old gods? New gods?
New gods. There are no old gods anymore. New gods.
How? How will you ascend?
As I don't know. I just know we will.
What is the message? If she calls to you, what is the message?
She says, "Come, Lusican, come, Lusican." Am I Lusican? I must be Lusican. Why would she be calling me if I wasn't Lusican? None of you are convinced that this dragon is actually Lusican. None of you, just an FYI.
Are we talking to an old god?
You're pretty sure it's not an old god. You're pretty sure it's just your typical run-of-the-mill high dragon, that you see on a Tuesday.
Or on a Thursday.
I'm going to say to the party, well, we have a tracker if we need to find the augur.
Can we in good mind let this beast go, though?
Based on what you've gathered, this thing, again, it can't find where the augur is, which is why it's just lashing it out randomly, like in random places. So if you let it out, it's just going to attack the next random city it runs into.
Oh.
And it's not necessarily going in the direction of the augur, because it says, I don't know where she is. I'm just kind of like, going around in the dark here. I have no clue where she actually is. I just hear her. And it's like a song that's stuck in your head. That, it's driving you nuts and you're trying to get it out. And the only way you can get the song out of your head is if you find the person, but you have no idea where the person is.
Can we use our chakra abilities to try and, I guess, sift through its chakra to find where the augur got in contact? I don't know if I'm making any sense there.
Where it first got in contact with it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say, you don't have to roll again. I'm gonna say that it first got in contact with it, the location physically that the dragon was in. I'm going to say it was from the Emerald
Graves.
Emerald Graves. But again, that may not necessarily mean that that doesn't necessarily mean that she was anywhere near the Emerald Graves. It's just he heard the call.
If we piggyback off of that memory, can we try and use that to pinpoint where she was? If it was just like experiencing the call and maybe wasn't actively trying to find her, could we maybe use that memory to
triangulate the original message? Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think you can do that.
Could we break this dragon from the call? Could we sever that sort of calling connection?
You can try. Do you want... if you want to try, Leon, roll a magic roll.
I'll ask the party first. Should we try to sever the connection?
I don't think the beast is gonna come.
At least stop it being driven crazy.
Go ahead and roll a magic roll.
19?
Do you not have any other... I'm just curious. Do you not have any other bonuses on top of that?
I've got the 2 from Rosie, and then I could do a creation or blood, but unless it's one of those.
Okay. The DC was 20. That was why I was asking.
I was gonna say, because me and Rousseau were like holding his hands, can we try and...
Assist? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. You will be able to break the connection, Leon, and as soon as the connection is broken, then the animal suddenly collapses to the ground, and now it's essentially a vegetable. Essentially, it's now a vegetable.
Ooh.
There wasn't a helping it, and I'm just gonna pat Leon on the shoulder, and I'm just gonna walk up to the dragon that's vegetableized and just kind of. Can I just like swing on its neck to like put it out of its misery?
Yeah, you can do that.
It seems that this connection we share is now integrally linked with us. Either that or the connection was the only thing keeping it alive.
When you strike at the dragon, it breathes its last breath. And because this is a breed that you've already gotten a chakra from, nothing happens. Nothing extra happens from slaying this particular dragon.